Ah, that was very easy to go live. Right. As this is the first time that I've done this on my phone, I actually thank you everyone for tuning in. Let me first say that. Get comfortable figuring out how to actually do this on my phone. So, ladies and gentlemen, first want to say thank you so much for coming in to watch the first episode of the Epic Show. Hopefully, I am capable of helping people overcome many mindset barriers and issues that I had in my lifetime before I balanced myself out, and it brought me a lot of personal growth and business achievements and many other things, understanding that mindset is fundamentally the beginning and end of everything. It really is the cockpit to the plane, to how you perceive everything in life and how everything runs. So let's call that my introduction. And obviously, I'm not going to be that serious throughout the entire running of the series. I thought the first episode I would run it myself. And from next week, I'll start introducing guests and I'll start having some fun people around and having discussions with people. And I'll definitely get a stand. As I can see, trying to do this on a phone is a lot more complicated than trying to do this on a laptop, which I'm used to doing. And today I just thought, I would touch up on something that we all know. And the most interesting thing about the fact that we all know it is that we've stopped actually following it, regardless of how much we know it. And, I've been living in Europe for the last couple of months, and I travel a lot between the US and the Middle East and my hometown of South Africa, home country of South Africa, my hometown being Johannesburg. And I've actually diversified myself in understanding the differences between a lot of different cultures and the way that people are and the way that people see things and the way that people understand perspective. And, I've often spoken of this is that we are all living in our own worlds and we're all within our own realm of reality and perspective. Yet we are always constantly countering different people coming into our world. And it really is the fundamental understanding that everybody is limited within their understanding of perspective, meaning that, how do you politely say this? There was a research that I would like, some of my first episode viewers to go and look into. It's actually known as the Dunning-Kruger effect, meaning that, and it ties perfectly in within what I've wanted to pass out as my first message at the beginning of starting this epic show that I've wanted to start for the last couple of months. I just couldn't manage to get the time right for it as I am running a few businesses now, and I have managed to free up some more time that as the businesses have grown, we have brought in some new team members and new department heads. And, let me go back to this Dunning-Kruger effect and why I mention it in regards to perspective. The understanding in the most simplest way of the Dunning-Kruger effect is that it has been proven that intelligent people live a life of always trying to understand more, of not believing in that if something they are capable of doing, if I can do it, others can do it. Yet on the opposite side of the spectrum, you've got the less intelligent people who overvalue their capabilities and they speak very highly of themselves and how they know everything. And they speak a lot and they go on about how the fact that they can do something defines them as extremely intelligent, and they will give lectures and speeches. And a lot of people I often run into, based on some of the videos that I've done in the past, they call me a motivational speaker, which I'm not a motivational speaker. I speak from a place of life experiences, of things that I've gone through in life, and I don't ever want to be labeled as a motivational speaker, based on the fact that I find motivational speakers people that also talk too much without much knowledge. And it's not something new. Motivational speakers have been around for millennials. If you watch any war movie, you will see one person stands up and shouts and gives the best motivational speech of why we must run into battle, and everybody ends up dying because the motivational speaker hyped everybody up to run into something that absolutely made no logical sense, and everybody just ran into it, tapping into the emotional value at the moment to get that person to do what the motivational speaker wanted them to do. And obviously, they always come with invoices and such and so forth. That's why I say I'm not a big fan of ever being labeled as a motivational speaker. And I would like to run my show going forward based on life experience. And speaking of life experience and bringing on characters of different backgrounds and color and sex and religion, and trying to understand what actually is the realm of perspective. And I do digress a lot. I just realized this of what I was essentially trying to say about the Dunning-Kruger effect and the understanding of perspective. The reason why I thought I would do this show in the first place is that I have become a very, very big firm believer that the more knowledge you obtain, the bigger your perspective comes, the less arrogant you are, the less you think that you know much. Thus, tying it back to what I did say of something I would like my viewers to go and read up on, knowing as the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's almost the same as the mess that I've recently seen that is happening all over social media, where you've got people that have no knowledge of ever setting foot in Europe talking about how the Switzerland interest rates are a lot lower than they are in Africa. Therefore, it must be true that Africa is backwards, and how they would set up their businesses in Switzerland. And it's that as soon as they read something, they dying to share it with people to make it sound like they are intelligent. It's almost the same as, people running around after making a couple of thousands talking about how they run the biggest trading commodities businesses in the world. Criminals, well-known criminals and thieves, coming onto social media and talking about how you must always do the right thing in life. It's this whole perspective is that you've got a very, very massive, massive amount of people in the world now that as soon as they get some little bit of information, they tie it in with their intelligence level, that they are extremely intelligent and now they know everything, and they are dying to speak about it on social media. So that is essentially what I thought I would do my show about, bringing people on of different perspectives and nobody thinking that they are more intelligent than others. And hopefully, our viewers get to understand and see different perspective from different people and learn from everybody. And it helps our viewers from next week when I start throwing in the guests and we start doing video calls and quite some fun things I've got lined up. And based on that, I just wanted to thank everybody. I thought I would do a quick 10-minute intro on the first episode to not drag this out. and just run by why I thought of doing this show based on my life that I've lived, whether I am somebody that can be perceived to handle a show of such caliber, to bring guests on and try teach others about perspective so that they can constantly grow their knowledge within reality, having more perspective, thus being able to go through life with more knowledge based on what others have been through. And with that said and wrapped up, I see I've already gone past the 10 minutes. So I just want to say thank you to the viewers on the first episode. Let's call it the introduction episode. And from next week, we should get this show off the ground, bring in guests, bring in speakers, and build up the following, build up the viewers, build up people we can help, build up based on the knowledge of what I've been through in life, help people, and hopefully help people understand from my mistakes. You know, we've all made mistakes in life. I will always take accountability for mine. I will always say that I've evolved and developed from them. And I look forward to seeing everybody from next week. And thank you everyone for tuning in to see the introduction to the show. And quite a few people have asked me about why do you keep posting about doing the show and you keep delaying it. It's fundamentally just a time concept thing that took me a very long time to settle down with the direction and the way that the businesses have been expanding. And I look forward to seeing everybody from next week. And thanks, everyone. Have a great day.